It is it's August 19th, 2021. The new tenant upstairs, the one after Alden, I haven't learned their names yet. I think they're of Hispanic descent, that Louis rented to the guy from the Navy. He's whatever, female. I just stopped her, or she just stopped me in the hallway when she was saying, oh, like the knee. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's something new. She's like, it's always, right? And I'm like, no, it's something new. And then I said to her, because I just came back, I walked my last walk of the evening, and I stopped at Marietta's bakery for Linda to get her those heart-shaped Linda tart thingies she likes. And when I was in the store, it took an extremely long time for them to get through their line. I did surveillance, recon, RECON, since I was just standing there. I also made note at the camera on Quintessential Human Function. But while I was standing in line, I noticed the humans, they stand, right? Okay, so I was standing like this, and some of the humans around me, if I look at their asymmetry, they do this. Then they go this way. Then they move again. They're constantly shifting and moving their weight. Because even in the bakery, first of all, when I walked through the bakery door, I could tell I was in a different dimensional pressure point. What I said to the new tenant is, I said, I just experienced it at the bakery. I said, it's weather pattern, it's whatever's going on in the atmosphere. I said, it's the around your body, it is supposed to be like a beautiful pointed origami. I was like, but what it feels like at the moment, instead of a beautiful pointed origami, it feels like a crumpled, disorganized mess that the points shift, and then all of a sudden your biological pressure gets pulled off, and it becomes a danger. It becomes in arithmetic and arthritis. It becomes painful. And she's like, oh. She says, that's interesting. And I said, yeah. I said, again, people blame it on the weather. It's the same thing. It's just more of an, whatever. And I said, have a good night. I said, I have to get up. Because again, I'm walking down the stairs backwards, so I don't put undue pressure between my knee and over my toe, in overextension between here and my toe. So I'm walking backwards down the stairs, making an effort, an exorbitant effort, and display about just how painful and off the matrix is right now at weather pattern in my local area at Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11261. Now, I know I have some form of black medical medical approval already. I would assume, if we call it black water operation with some outside body. What I do not understand is why the official issuing body has had such a hard time getting to my physicality in New York. I'm in a house. I'm being housed in a dangerous, it was part of the reason why it was issued originally. And time is not like, you don't just wait this type of thing out, it gets worse. So that happened. I have to think about this. Oh, and then I was speaking to Angel, the gentleman who's Hispanic, black hair, but I would say lighter skin, at the valet at the Lazy Cow as I walked with my pink umbrella. I stopped to say, I said, now, how do you say come here? I said, como se dice come here in Espanol? And he says, come here. And I said, yes, how do you say it? Like, come here. He says, oh, it's, he says, something Acui. And I was like, right, Acui. I was like, now, is that the Acui that's A-Q-U-I? Or is that the A-C-U-I? And he was like, no, it's A-Q-U-I. And I was like, right, okay, what's the A-C-U-I? He's like, oh, that's the, like, come here. Like, right here. And I'm like, all right. See, I haven't heard that one in a long time. I don't know a lot of language outside of my own, but I know that one because I belong to somebody very important once upon a time, and that was one of my favorite sayings, is like, I don't want to just be any key, I want to be the key right here, right next to he. And so then Angel said, you know, there's a very tall guy inside the bar that keeps asking about you with this umbrella. And I said, I looked in and I go, yeah, what does he want to know? And he says, I don't know, he just keeps asking about you. And I said, well, you tell him I'm looking for a very tall man named Niklaus Hitler. I was like, that name worked long time ago. That is the official name. I was like, although, depending on how the parallel goes and then the crosswinds or the cross grids, sometimes he shifts IDs. We have 4-letter words. It's E-R-I-K. Eric showed up once, and then I had him clocked in as Mark. So I don't know. It's, you know, that the last time I saw him as Eric was 2009, and then I didn't give a year for Mark. So I said, so I don't know what he's going by. It depends on the locals and the whatever's that's going on elsewhere. I don't know these things. But I will tell you, at official places, he was supposed to be my national. He was supposed to come for me like I was 9, and we were married, like, in the eyes of the gods. And he took official name, I think, as Niklaus, is what they said, for this purpose, to come get his Nicole. He says, I'll just mirror her name in a male format. She's Nicole, I'm Niklaus, or I'm Nicholas. Easy. I don't know why humans overcomplicate our alien simplicity. So anyway, so I said, so please tell the tall man inside about my umbrella, that the man I seek is called Niklaus Hitler. It's a famous name. They should know it. And it's Nicholas. I was like, that's all they need to know. I still am seeking he. And he was like, okay. I said, and if you want to throw in the Acui, because Acui is like, yeah, any old key will do. No. Here, Vinisi, Acai. Those are special marriage words of a woman who really loves her man and never wants a nanometer in between. Star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza, and it is August 19th, 2021. I'm in Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361. And again, I saw the origami, in third eye. Again, you know, the stupid human, the stupid American, they say, when you say that you see the grid change, I can see the computer graphic around the stupid human changing based on the level of infrared we got going on this is really painful. My eyes are flashing between infrared, gold, and blue orange in prefect. I know that somebody knows these things. And so but you can't tell a human these things, because then the human's like, oh, they're schizophrenic. And I'm like, yeah, phrenic has to do with the diaphragm, and the diaphragm pressures off stupids. But you have trained these dumb, useless humans in the local area that they know things, which they do not. They know things in a different universe, and it is dangerous to have them walking about in charge of something. So anyway, I've got, I could see the pressure change around this one particular man. First of all, I could feel it on myself. I was shifting, and then all of a sudden I was conscious of my shifting, and I'm like, oh, and then I felt the pressure in my left knee go, and I had iced my knees right before I left. I was icing my quads, and I was icing specifically the entire knee joint. I know that was important at that meeting in some timeless space when I got to somebody who cares. They suggested that, they said, I am not an American doctor. Let me start there. I said, oh, thank God, I will listen. So that happened. But then I looked at the strangers, because I'm like, oh, right, same meeting. If I could observe without being intrusively observatory of the other people in the area, are they body languaging suffering as well? So I looked around and was watching the others with my sunglasses on, so I wasn't all awkward in humanness, and they were shifting. They were shifting, they were moving their arms. You could see them, some of them were huffing. The two human women in front of me, oh God, I tried to, like, la 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 la, I don't want to know what you two are speaking of. This is public after all, but whatever. Their humanness is just not charming. So, but I was amusing myself with watching the other patrons being as uncomfortable as myself, and watching the diagram of the grid change on the floor, the tetra on the floor change, as well as the shapes of the needle points that were not in congruence. They were more of the off alignment than they were in perfect needle points where they need to be in safety feature around some of the other patrons, while I was signaling a camera. I don't know if it works, but it will work after effect or during the effect. We'll make it work to go to whatever file I need in the diorama for the evening, if that's the camera view that the humans need to believe something. I don't know. I mean, this is ridiculous.